Your video budget is not going where you think it is. Most marketers assume their spend is paying for creative and production. But oftentimes the truth is a bigger chunk of that money is disappearing into overhead, markups, and mistakes that never improve what shows up on screen. So today I'm breaking down exactly where budgets die and why executional leadership is the difference between campaigns that land and campaigns that burn out. Okay, so when a brand sets aside $20,000, $50,000, or $100,000 or more for a brand video, they imagine it all showing up on screen. They imagine it all paying for a sharp director, a professional crew, polished editing, and a set of cut downs that live across every distribution platform. But often that's not actually what happens. Yes, a portion funds the work, but too much gets eaten by overhead, layers of staff who never touch the project, and execution failures that were baked in from the start. Without empowered executional leadership, budgets don't stretch, they collapse. Here's how the money typically breaks down. So roughly 20% goes into pre-production. That's scripting, casting, planning, and creative development. That should be the foundation, but it's often rushed because margins are thinner there. Then about a third goes into the visible parts of the production, the gear, the locations, the meals, the crew, the stuff you see when you walk on set. But then there's the other chunk, 40% or more, that often disappears into overhead, account management, and inefficient workflows that don't make the final cut any better. I have seen brands surprised to learn that half their editing bill was really account staff time. That does not improve the campaign, but it does drain the budget. This is where budgets burn, because often you're not just paying for creative or production, you're paying for office rents, for senior titles that are merely copied on emails, for junior staff billing at senior rates, and for meetings that don't move the work forward. And then vendors do get marked up. So a music track that's quoted at $1,000 shows up on your invoice as $1,250. A location priced at $3,000 becomes $3,750. Or an edit budgeted at $4,000 ends closer to $5,000. Each line looks small, but across the entire campaign, these markups snowball into thousands lost. And beyond overhead, there's a bigger killer, executional failures. I've seen projects torpedoed because the wrong production coordinator was assigned. I've seen estimates that left off color grading and sound mixing completely, so the client had to pay twice for the finishing costs. I've seen shoots redone because no one checked if the footage was going to work in vertical. So suddenly you're scrambling and the budget is shot and the team is explaining why the content almost works, but not where it matters. And what I'm describing are not creative failures. These are failures of empowered executional leadership. This is the core issue. Too many projects don't have empowered executional leadership. Because, as we all know, agencies often hand the logistics to the line producers or junior project managers who report back to the creative directors. They're talented, but they aren't empowered to make structural calls that actually protect the campaign. Then you have traditional production companies who have executive producers who know craft very well, but they don't always understand how to navigate brand politics or in-house processes. What's missing is a new model, creative production companies that can blend both worlds, that can combine the instincts of agency heads of production who know how to align with brand needs with the experience of executive producers who know how to protect craft under pressure. They've worked direct to brand and know the reality of internal teams. They can often anticipate compliance issues, platform specs, and usage rights, and the feedback loop from legal and leadership. This combination is what makes executional leadership different from simple project management. Because it's not just logistics, it's protecting the creative through the entire system. Executional leadership is not about managing tasks. It's about focusing attention and resources on the people and parts of the process that deliver the most value, and then stripping away everything that wastes time, money, or energy. Because it's not about saying yes to everything. It's about knowing what to protect and what to cut. Great executional leadership knows how to see opportunities that inevitably arise in production. A location opens up that was thought to be unavailable at the last second. A casting option brings unexpected chemistry, but the cast has already been approved. A partner offers to bundle rights across platforms for the same fee. Most teams miss those moments because they are buried in process or stuck in politics. Executional leadership sees them, seizes them, and knows how to leverage leverage. That means taking one decision and multiplying its impact across budget, creative, and schedule. This is what separates real executional leadership from standard project management. Project management moves the pieces, but executional leadership shapes the game. It understands how creative, logistics, and brand politics intersect, and it keeps the campaign aligned with both the idea and the outcome. That's why creative production companies are so valuable. They are not just vendors who show up with a crew. They are systems of leadership built to protect your money, your time, and your creative integrity all the way to launch. Executional leadership is also about evolution. The brands that thrive are the ones who see execution as a living system, not a static checklist. Platforms change, audience behavior shifts, new formats appear out of nowhere, and executional leadership is what allows a team to adapt without breaking the campaign. That might mean realizing during production that a 30-second concept also needs several 6-second bumper versions for pre-roll, reworking the shot list on the spot so you don't need an extra shoot day. It might mean catching mid-campaign that your social ads have been performing better as silent caption first edits, and adjusting the workflow for cut downs before wasting media spend on the original versions. It might mean recognizing that a TikTok style vertical piece is outperforming Instagram placements and reallocating deliverables to feed the platform where attention is actually landing. None of those adjustments happen by accident. They happen because someone is empowered to see beyond the schedule and beyond the budget, and to make calls that protect both creative and business results. That is why executional leadership is not a cost, it's an investment. It pays back in saved dollars, saved time, and campaigns that land stronger because they were built to flex. When you have executional leadership, pre-production is no longer rushed. Usage rights get cleared before you shoot, not during or after. Cut downs and aspect ratios are scoped up front, not left to we'll figure it out in post. Timelines get protected. Risk is anticipated. Campaigns land on schedule instead of slipping into recovery mode. And the impact on budgets is huge. Suddenly your spend goes where it should, on screen. That can mean more shooting days, more skilled talent, better actors, better post-production, stronger integrity from idea to launch. The system holds because someone owns execution from start to finish. Here's the truth. Video budgets aren't shrinking because ideas are bad. They're dying because executional leadership is missing. Too much money is lost to overhead, markups, and unforced errors. The brands that win are the ones that recognize execution as a discipline, not an afterthought. Because yes, creative sells the dream, but executional leadership is what makes it real.